Everything we're seeing now behind Ripple is part of a bigger plan. We've been talking about this since 2021. There has been a lot of talk about what's going on with Ripple and how everything is supposed to work even before that. I also just made a movie where I talk about how all of this was planned ahead of time. Now, even with Ripple's most recent move, I think we have all the information we need. First, let's talk about the big news we talked about earlier. That was on July 2nd, right? Ripple asked the OCC to give them a national bank charter. But this was really big. Besides that, they also tried to open a Fed master account. I did say that this would let them hold ROUSD funds directly with the Fed and add another layer of security to ROUSD trust that would make it stronger in the future. And I talked about all the ways that the Fed and Ripple are linked and what this might mean for ROUSD and even XRP. This is a very important message. This is a really big piece of the story. And if this does get the go-ahead, it puts Ripple in a very good situation. Why did I bring this up again? Yes, it's because of this news we got yesterday morning. Wow, did someone say boom? Said that things are starting to come together for XRP, ROUSD, and Ripple. Okay, we're going to go over this news from July 2nd one more time because I believe everything is now in place. The message from Ripple is here. Ripple has chosen BNY Global to hold the main reserves for RLUSD. RLUSD is an enterprise-grade SIP coin that was made to be useful in the real world. It is backed by one of the world's biggest and most trusted financial services companies. BNY is a huge company. BNY is well known. Yes, even if you don't look at finance, you're still in crypto and near, finance, the BNY name. I'll talk about this again in a moment, but first I need to talk about a few other things. First, in July 2023, BNY Mellon joined the FedNow service, which made the US payment system better. You might say, okay, so they're just joining FedNow. Take a look at these lines. Their guidance makes it possible for the whole industry to move forward and sets an example for others who want to help update the US payment infrastructure. From the start of the FedNow test program in January 2021 on, BNY Mellon worked with it. The company was an early user that helped test the service and give feedback on it. Also, in the months before launch, it went through a multi-step client testing and approval process. We are always working to improve the payments environment by giving our clients new tools and services that help them run their businesses more smoothly. By becoming a FedNow service adopter, we're making it easier for more people to get into the financial business and giving our clients more chances to improve their instant payment options. We already know that service companies and financial institutions will continue to join until 2023. That said, the fact that BNY was one of the first banks to do this is a big worry. In fact, they have been pushing for a change of the banking system for a very long time. Now that Ripple is asking for a Fed license, or a Fed master account, and also a national bank charter license, this is something that needs a lot of attention. This will also make it possible to hold RLUSD funds directly with the Fed. We already know that FedNow is connected to Ripple. We've already talked about this a few times. Even Volante played a big role in FedNow. Ripple is connected to it through the API plug-and-play technology, which also uses XRP. This is crazy because of all the links between the Fed, Ripple, and now even BNY. This is still in the same week that Ripple wants to open a Fed master account and a national bank charter license. Now, BNY is taking care of the RUSD for the primary reserve. Also, just so you know, BNY Mellon is a big bank that works closely with the Federal Reserve System. That being said, BNY Mellon is not actually part of the Federal Reserve. Instead, it provides services and takes part in many Federal Reserve projects, especially those that deal with payments and assets. They now work with the Fed to handle service clearing, collateral management, and the storage of safe coin reserves. Also, B and Y are in charge of more than 53 trillion, $100 billion, 0 cents in assets for their clients. They move it around, keep it safe, and manage it. We are right in the middle of money. If we look down here, since the beginning, we've worked together with our clients, putting our knowledge and tools to use to help them reach their goals. We now help more than 90% of the Fortune 100 companies and almost all of the world's top 100 banks get the money they need. It's huge that Ripple is connected to BNY. Guys, I'm telling you right now that we are watching everything happen right in front of our eyes. There is a lot of talk about whether BNY was also one of the 1,700 NDAs linked to Ripple in the court papers. We're not sure. We're not sure about that. But this is definitely a big news story. And this is proof that Ripple has chosen BNY to hold its USD funds. As of today, Ripple, the biggest company that helps banks use digital assets, revealed that it has chosen the Bank of New York Mellon Corporation, a worldwide leader in financial services, to hold its Ripple USD reserves. Both Ripple and BNY want to make it easier for institutions to use digital assets, and they are working together to close the gap between crypto and traditional banking. Now, RLUSD is one of the few stablecoins around the world that was made under the New York Department of Financial Services Trust Company Charter. RLUSD is different from stablecoins that are mostly for individual users because it was designed to be useful for businesses, especially when it comes to making cross-border payments faster, cheaper, and more efficient. BNY will be in charge of keeping RUSD safe. They will do this by using their knowledge of how to support the digital asset environment and their track record of setting up stablecoin infrastructure in the US. In addition, Ripple will use BNY's top-notch transaction banking services to support its business and keep giving its customers smooth solutions. As a stablecoin designed for business-level financial use cases, Ripple USD fills a very important gap in the market. Jack McDonald, SVP of stablecoins at Ripple, said that it was made to meet the strict standards of major banks. BNY is the perfect partner for Ripple and ROUSD because they have a track record of being good at security, a strong commitment to financial innovation in a world that is changing quickly, and a forward-thinking approach to digital asset infrastructure. As the main keeper of RLUCID, we're happy to help digital assets grow by giving institutions in the digital asset ecosystem a unique platform that can adapt to their changing needs. As a top financial platform company, we're still dedicated to giving financial environments around the world safe, new, and easy-to-use solutions. We're also proud to work closely with Ripple to help shape the future of the financial system and the use of digital assets. On an institutional level, there are new players in the banking system, which means the whole system is changing. At this point, BNY being a close partner of Ripple is a big step forward for the company. Brad Garlinghouse will be on Squawk CNBC this morning to talk about the growth of institutional stablecoins and how banks like BNY were just named as ROUSD's partner in reserve banking today, are ready to put all their money into crypto once regulations are clear. The US has needed crypto market structure law for a long time. This will protect consumers, set up clear legal pathways, and encourage new financial ideas to grow. This is from CNBC and comes from Bank XRP. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse talks about the company's relationship with BNY and the future of the ROUSD stablecoin. Look at this. The Ripple is announcing, it just now announced that it is working with BNY to make BNY the main bank that stores its stablecoin. Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, is joining us on Stone CNC. Brad, that's a good shot. It looks good on you. You look very good, almost like a boss. Thanks for coming. Thanks. It's nice to be here. It feels good to be back on Squawk Box. You should hire a cleaner to get your stablecoin. Why choose BNY? I believe that working with the most reputable, well-regulated, and even well-funded partners is the best way to keep building trust in this system. Now that the crypto industry has come out of a time when it was under attack